The unexpected invitation. The day Earth's reality shattered began like any other. News channels droned on about political squabbles, social media buzzed with the latest celebrity gossip, and billions went about their daily routines, blissfully unaware of the cosmic shift about to rock their world. At precisely 12 o'clock UTC, every screen on the planet went black. From Times Square's towering billboards to the smartphones in Nairobi, from London's underground displays to the laptops in Sydney's coffee shops, all fell silent in an instant. For a breathless moment, humanity collectively held its breath, wondering if this was the end they'd all secretly feared. Then, in a burst of alien geometries and colors beyond human comprehension, the screens flickered back to life. The image that appeared was both familiar and utterly foreign. A grand chamber, curved and organic, filled with beings that defied easy description. At the center stood a figure that seemed almost human, if not for the shimmer of scales beneath its translucent skin and the serene glow emanating from its eyes. People of Earth, the figure spoke, its voice resonating in every language simultaneously. We are the Galactic Council, and we extend our hand in greeting. The world erupted into chaos. Emergency sirens wailed in major cities, military bases went into immediate lockdown, and social media exploded with a mix of terror, excitement, and disbelief. Yet, as the alien continued to speak, a strange calm began to settle over humanity. For millennia, we have watched your species grow, struggle, and evolve. Today, we deem you ready to join the greater community of sentient beings that span the cosmos. But this invitation comes with a price, a series of trials to prove your worth. As the alien elaborated, governments scrambled to respond. Emergency sessions were called in the UN, while world leaders attempted to establish direct communication with the Council. Their efforts proved futile. The transmission was one way, and the aliens seemed content to let their message play out without interruption. We require your best and brightest, the alien continued. Those who embody the spirit of humanity in all its complexity. In 7 days, we will return for your chosen representatives. They will face challenges beyond their imagining, but the rewards for success are equally unimaginable. The choice is yours, Earth. We await your response. With that, the transmission cut off, leaving billions in stunned silence. The following week was unlike any in human history. Initial panic gave way to feverish preparation as nations grappled with an impossible choice. Who would represent humanity? How could they prepare for the unknown? In New York, Dr. Amelia Zhao, a quantum physicist with a penchant for extreme sports, received a call she never expected. Her work on theoretical faster-than-light travel, dismissed by many as science fiction, had caught the attention of those assembling Earth's team. Half a world away, in Lagos, Oluwaseun's son Ademola sat in disbelief as he was informed of his selection. A linguist and cultural anthropologist, Sun had dedicated his life to understanding the nuances of human communication. Now he faced the prospect of deciphering utterly alien concepts. In Moscow, former Spetsnaz operative turned humanitarian worker Nikolai Volkov wrestled with the implications of the Council's message. His unique blend of combat skills and diplomatic experience made him an ideal candidate, but the weight of representing humanity on a cosmic stage left him sleepless. As the days ticked by, more exceptional individuals were chosen. Sarah Chen, a prodigy in game theory and strategic planning from Singapore. Dr. Kiona Blackfoot, an environmental systems expert and advocate for indigenous rights from Montana. Yuki Tanaka, a robotics engineer with unparalleled expertise in AI integration from Tokyo. Each candidate brought unique skills and perspectives, but all shared a common thread: the ability to think beyond conventional boundaries and adapt to the unknown. As the seventh day dawned, the chosen representatives gathered at a hastily constructed facility in Geneva. The air thrummed with tension and excitement. Families had been left behind, tearful goodbyes exchanged. And now humanity's best stood ready to face whatever the cosmos had in store. Dr. Zhao fiddled nervously with a quantum entanglement device of her own design, hoping it might allow communication across vast distances. Sun muttered phrases in dozens of languages, a self-soothing technique that drew curious glances from his new teammates. Nikolai stood silent and watchful, his posture betraying years of military training. Sarah Chen, the youngest of the group at just 26, found herself analyzing every detail of their situation. Her mind raced with potential scenarios, each more outlandish than the last. Yet even her vivid imagination couldn't prepare her for what came next. The facility's roof retracted with a hydraulic hiss, revealing a sky that was wrong. Where there should have been blue, there was a swirling vortex of color, like an aurora borealis gone mad. From its center descended a ship that defied physics, its shape constantly shifting and reforming. As the ship touched down, a hush fell over the assembled humans. World leaders, scientists, and military personnel watched from a safe distance, their faces a mix of awe and trepidation. The chosen representatives stood their ground, each fighting the urge to step back as a portal materialized in the ship's side. The alien that emerged was the same being from the transmission, its appearance even more striking in person. It glided rather than walked, leaving a trail of softly glowing particles in its wake. "Greetings, champions of Earth," it said, its voice somehow both thunderous and gentle. "I am Zarthol, emissary of the Galactic Council. Are you prepared to face the trials that await?" Dr. Zhao stepped forward, her voice steadier than she felt. "We are," she said simply, speaking for all of humanity in that moment. Zarthol's eyes, pools of swirling starlight, seemed to look through each of them. "Very well," it said after a pause that felt like eternity. "Know this, the challenges you face will test more than your physical and mental capabilities. They will probe the very essence of what it means to be human. Your species' future among the stars hangs in the balance." With a gesture, Zarthol opened a portal of swirling energy behind the team. "Step through, brave ones, and begin your journey. May your spirits remain strong in the face of the unknown." One by one, the human representatives stepped into the portal. Sarah Chen, the last to enter, turned back for a final look at her homeworld. The weight of billions of hopes and fears pressed down on her shoulders. With a deep breath, she stepped into the light, leaving Earth behind. As the portal closed, Zarthol turned to address the watching crowds. "People of Earth," it said, its voice echoing across the globe once more, "your champions now walk a path few have tread. Their success or failure will ripple across the cosmos. Watch, wait, hope, for the age of humanity's isolation is over, and the universe awaits." With that, the alien ship rose silently into the sky, disappearing into the swirling vortex above. As suddenly as it had appeared, the anomaly vanished, leaving behind a clear blue sky and a world forever changed. In living rooms and public squares, in boardrooms and bunkers, humanity collectively held its breath. The greatest adventure in the history of our species had begun, and none could predict where it might lead. The unexpected invitation had been accepted, and the cosmos would never be the same. The cosmic gauntlet. The human representatives stumbled out of the portal onto a surface that felt both solid and slightly yielding, like moss-covered stone. As their vision cleared, they found themselves in a vast chamber that seemed to stretch endlessly in all directions. The walls, if they could be called that, pulsed with soft bioluminescence in patterns that hinted at some alien logic. Dr. Amelia Zhao was the first to find her voice. "Is everyone all right?" she asked, her scientific curiosity already overriding her initial disorientation. The team took stock of themselves and their surroundings. Nikola Volkov's military training kicked in as he scanned for potential threats. Sarah Chen's mind raced, analyzing every detail of their new environment. Sion Adamola listened intently, trying to discern any patterns in the ambient sounds that permeated the chamber. Before they could fully gather their wits, a melodious chime resonated through the air, and a holographic figure materialized before them. It was vaguely humanoid but composed entirely of intricate, flowing symbols that constantly shifted and rearranged. "Welcome, Earthborn." The figure's voice echoed in their minds rather than their ears. "I am the Overseer of Trials. Your journey through the cosmic gauntlet begins now. Be warned, each challenge will test not just your individual skills, but your ability to function as a united representative of your species." With that ominous introduction, the chamber began to transform. The bioluminescent patterns coalesced into distinct zones, each pulsing with a different color and intensity. "Your first trial," the Overseer announced, "is the Maze of Perspectives." The team found themselves separated, each facing a different entrance to what appeared to be a sprawling labyrinth. The walls of the maze shifted and changed color, responding to the thoughts and emotions of those within. Dr. Kiona Blackfoot, drawing on her expertise in environmental systems, quickly realized the maze was a living entity. "It's responsive," she called out to the others. "Our thoughts, our cultural backgrounds, they're influencing the maze's structure." As they navigated the ever-changing passages, each team member faced phantoms of their own making. Nikolai grappled with spectral enemies born from his combat experience, while Yuki Tanaka found herself debugging impossible robotic systems that sprang to life around her. Sarah Chen, her strategic mind working overtime, began to see patterns in the chaos. "Everyone," she shouted, "we need to synchronize our thoughts. The maze is testing our ability to unify our perspectives." With great effort, the team began to coordinate their mental approaches. As they did, the maze slowly became more navigable. After what felt like hours of physical and mental exertion, they finally reunited at the center, exhausted but triumphant. The Overseer's voice resonated once more. "You have passed the first trial. Rest, for the challenges only intensify from here." A shimmering field enveloped the team, rejuvenating their bodies and minds. As the field dissipated, they found themselves transported to a new environment, a stark, featureless plain under an alien sky filled with unfamiliar constellations. "The second trial," the Overseer announced, "is the Forge of Innovation." Before them materialized an array of alien technologies, each more bizarre and inscrutable than the last. Strange energies crackled between the devices, and holographic displays flickered with symbols that defied comprehension. "You must create something new," the Overseer explained. "Combine these technologies in a way never before seen. You have one planetary rotation. Failure will result in immediate disqualification." The team stared at the assemblage of alien tech, momentarily overwhelmed. Then, almost in unison, they turned to Yuki Tanaka. The robotics engineer's eyes were already alight with possibilities. "Okay," Yuki said, her voice trembling with excitement and trepidation. "Let's break this down. Dr. Zhao, what can you tell me about these energy signatures? Soon, can you make any sense of these symbols?" As the team pooled their knowledge and skills, a plan began to take shape. Dr. Zhao's theories on quantum entanglement found new application in alien circuitry. Sun's linguistic insights helped decipher crucial operating principles. Nikolai's tactical thinking provided a framework for integrating disparate systems. Hours ticked by in a frenzy of creation. Sleep was forgotten as the human team pushed the boundaries of their understanding and creativity. As the alien sun began to set, casting long shadows across the plain, they stepped back to observe their handiwork. Before them stood a device that pulsed with otherworldly energy. It was a perfect fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology, a machine capable of translating thought directly into matter. The Overseer materialized, its symbolic form shifting more rapidly than before. "Extraordinary," it said, a note of genuine surprise in its mental voice. "You have not only passed this trial, but exceeded all expectations. The Forge of Innovation has never produced such a unique creation." Exhausted but elated, the team barely had time to celebrate before the environment shifted once again. This time, they found themselves in what appeared to be a massive arena, surrounded by towering stands filled with a myriad of alien species. The third trial, the overseer's voice boomed, now audible to all present, is the crucible of ethics. A sense of foreboding settled over the human representatives as they realized the true nature of this challenge. Before them appeared a series of holographic scenarios, each depicting a complex moral dilemma with far-reaching consequences. "You must make choices," the overseer explained. "Each decision will save some and doom others. There are no correct answers, only consequences. The assembled species will judge the wisdom and compassion of humanity through your choices." The first scenario flickered to life. A peaceful alien world threatened by a natural disaster, with limited resources for evacuation. The team had to decide who would be saved and who would be left behind. Sarah Chen, the strategist, immediately began calculating the most efficient salvation plan. Kiona Blackfoot argued passionately for preserving the planet's unique ecosystem alongside its inhabitants. Silan Adamola stressed the importance of preserving cultural heritage in any evacuation plan. As the debates raged and decisions were made, the alien audience reacted with a cacophony of sounds and gestures. Some scenarios brought approval, others shocked outrage. Through it all, the human team struggled to balance pragmatism with compassion, efficiency with empathy. The final scenario was the most heart-wrenching. A choice between saving an alien species on the brink of extinction or preserving a cosmic library containing the accumulated knowledge of 1,000 civilizations. The team's debate was fierce, with Amelia Zhao advocating for the preservation of knowledge, while Nikolai argued passionately for the sanctity of life. In the end, they chose to split their resources, attempting a desperate plan to save both. As the scenario concluded, a hush fell over the alien audience. The overseer's form grew to towering proportions. "You have completed the crucible of ethics," it announced. "Your choices were unexpected. You have demonstrated a capacity for both rational decision-making and moral complexity that many deemed beyond your species." As the team stood, drained both emotionally and physically, the overseer continued, "Rest now, for you have passed the midpoint of your trials. But be warned, the greatest challenges still lie ahead. The true measure of humanity has yet to be taken." With those ominous words, the arena faded away, and the human representatives found themselves in a serene garden of alien flora. As they settled in to recover and prepare for what was to come, each grappled with the weight of their experiences and the monumental tasks still before them. Unknown to them, their performance had sent shockwaves through the Galactic Council. Humanity, it seemed, was far more than anyone had anticipated. And as news of their trials spread across the cosmos, ancient powers began to stir, their attention drawn to the upstart species that dared to challenge the established order of the galaxy. The cosmic gauntlet was far from over, and its true purpose was only beginning to unfold. Cracks in the facade. As the human representatives rested in the alien garden, their minds reeled from the trials they had endured. The air was filled with a sweet, unfamiliar scent, and bioluminescent plants pulsed gently around them. Despite the serene environment, an undercurrent of tension ran through the group. Sarah Chen paced restlessly, her sharp mind refusing to settle. "Something's not right," she muttered, more to herself than the others. "These trials, they're too specific, too tailored to our abilities." Dr. Amelia Zhao looked up from the alien flower she'd been examining. "What do you mean, Sarah?" "Think about it," Sarah said, her voice gaining intensity. "The maze of perspectives. It's like it was designed to test our cultural diversity. The forge of innovation played perfectly into our adaptability with technology. And the crucible of ethics." She trailed off, her brow furrowed in concentration. Silan Adamola nodded slowly. "It's as if they knew exactly how to push our buttons, how to test the very essence of what makes us human." Nikolai Volkov, ever the tactician, spoke up. "If this were a military operation, I'd say we're being assessed for our strengths and weaknesses. But why? We're supposed to be joining their galactic community. Not what?" Dr. Kiona Blackfoot asked, a note of concern in her voice. not being evaluated as a potential threat. Nikolai finished grimly. A heavy silence fell over the group as they contemplated the implications of this realization. It was Yuki Tanaka who finally broke it. So what do? We can't just confront the overseer with our suspicions. Sarah's eyes gleamed with determination. No, but we can investigate. Between trials, we've been left alone. This is our chance to look behind the curtain. With renewed purpose, the team began to explore their surroundings more critically. Dr. Zhao and Yuki focused on analyzing the technology around them, looking for any inconsistencies or hidden functions. Sion and Kiana examined the alien flora, searching for clues in the garden's design. Nikolai and Sarah, meanwhile, worked on finding a way out of their designated rest area. It was Nikolai who discovered the hidden panel, camouflaged within the patterns of a large leaf-like structure. "Over here," he called softly. The team gathered around as he carefully manipulated the panel, revealing a hidden passage beyond. "Well," Dr. Zhao said with a nervous laugh, "I guess subtlety isn't an option anymore, shall we?" One by one, they entered the passage, which seemed to shift and change around them as they moved. The bioluminescent glow faded, replaced by a cold, artificial light. The organic shapes of the garden gave way to angular, metallic structures. "It's like we're seeing behind the scenes of a grand illusion," Sun murmured, his linguist's mind trying to decipher the alien symbols that now appeared on the walls around them. As they ventured deeper, the passage opened into a vast chamber filled with holographic displays and humming machinery. The screens showed images of Earth, of their trials, and of other alien species undergoing similar tests. "Look," Kiona gasped, pointing to one of the screens. It showed a species they had never seen before, insectoid in appearance, navigating a maze eerily similar to the one they had faced. "They're running multiple trials simultaneously," Yuki realized, her eyes wide as she took in the complexity of the systems around them. Sarah moved to a central console, her fingers hovering over the alien interface. "If I can just figure out how to..." A sudden alarm blared, cutting her off. Red lights pulsed throughout the chamber, and the holograms flickered wildly. "We've been detected," Nikolai shouted over the noise. "We need to move now." But as they turned to flee, they found their exit blocked by a shimmering force field. Beyond it stood a figure they recognized, the alien scientist from the Forge of Innovation trial. "Well," the alien said, its voice a mix of amusement and resignation, "I suppose this was inevitable. Humans do have an annoying habit of poking their noses where they don't belong." "Who are you?" Dr. Zhao demanded. "What is all this?" The alien scientist sighed, a surprisingly human gesture. "My name is Zixtal. I am, or was, the lead researcher for the Galactic Council's Assessment Division. And this," he gestured around the chamber, "is where we evaluate potential threats to galactic stability." "Threats?" Sun echoed, disbelief in his voice. "We came here in peace, invited by your council." Zixtal's expression shifted, showing what might have been regret. "Yes, well, that's not entirely accurate. You see, humanity wasn't invited to join the galactic community. You were lured here to be contained." The revelation hit the team like a physical blow. Sarah, always quick to recover, pressed for more information. "Contained? Why? What have we done to warrant this?" "It's not what you've done," Zixtal explained, deactivating the force field and stepping into the chamber. "It's what you might do. Your species' potential for both creation and destruction is unprecedented. The Council feared what might happen if humanity were allowed to expand into the stars unchecked." As the alien spoke, holographic images appeared around them, showing humanity's history, their wars, their triumphs, their rapid technological advancement. "But these trials," Kiona interjected, "they weren't just tests, were they? They were a way to study us, to find our weaknesses." Zixtal nodded. "Precisely. The Council wanted to understand humanity fully before deciding how to proceed." The implications of that last word hung heavy in the air. Nikolai's hand instinctively moved to a weapon he no longer carried. And what exactly does proceed mean? The alien scientist looked uncomfortable. That decision hasn't been made yet. Some advocate for full integration into the galactic community. Others push for isolation, keeping humanity contained to your solar system. And some, he trailed off. Some want us eliminated. Sarah finished, her voice cold. Zixtal didn't deny it. Instead, he moved to the central console, his long fingers dancing over the controls. The alarms silenced, and the red lights faded. "I've bought us some time," he said. "The security systems think this was a false alarm." "Why are you helping us?" Dr. Zhao asked, suspicion clear in her voice. "Because," Zixtal replied, "in studying humanity, I've come to a conclusion that differs from the Council's. Your potential for destruction is matched only by your capacity for growth and adaptation. I believe you deserve a chance to prove yourselves on the galactic stage." The human team exchanged glances, a mix of emotions playing across their faces: shock, anger, determination. "So what now?" Yuki asked, breaking the tense silence. Zixtal's alien features arranged themselves into what might have been a smile. "Now, we change the game. The trials you were meant to face were designed to expose your weaknesses. Instead, we're going to showcase your strengths to the Council and to the entire galactic community." Sarah stepped forward, her strategic mind already racing with possibilities. "We'll need to move fast. Once the Council realizes what we're doing, they'll try to stop us," Nikolai finished. "We'll be fighting an uphill battle against an advanced alien civilization." Dr. Zhao's eyes gleamed with the thrill of scientific challenge. In other words, just another day for humanity. As the team huddled with their unlikely alien ally, plotting their next move, a sense of purpose filled the chamber. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, but for the first time since arriving in this strange, cosmic arena, they felt like they had a fighting chance. Little did they know, their actions had set in motion events that would shake the very foundations of the Galactic Council and reveal truths about the cosmos that would change everything they thought they knew about their place in the universe. The true test was just beginning. The astounding truth. The cavernous chamber hummed with tension as Zixtal's long, multi-jointed fingers danced across the alien console. Holographic displays flickered and shifted, revealing glimpses of distant worlds and strange civilizations. The human team watched in awe, their minds struggling to process the sheer scale of the galactic community they'd stumbled into. "What you're about to see," Zixtal said, his voice uncharacteristically solemn, "is known only to a select few within the highest echelons of the Galactic Council. Are you prepared for knowledge that may fundamentally alter your understanding of the universe and your place in it?" The humans exchanged glances, a mix of anticipation and trepidation on their faces. Dr. Amelia Zhou stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overriding any hesitation. "We're ready," she said, speaking for the group. Zixtal nodded, or made an alien approximation of the gesture. With a final, decisive motion, he activated a hidden protocol in the system. The chamber darkened, and a new hologram sprang to life. A swirling map of the galaxy, far more detailed and vast than any human astronomers had ever created. "This," Zixtal explained, "is a historical map of our galaxy from approximately 1 million of your Earth years ago." The team watched in fascination as points of light, representing civilizations, flickered across the galactic map. Some burned bright and steady, others pulsed weakly before fading out entirely. "Now," the alien scientist continued, "observe what happens as we move forward in time." The map began to change, civilizations rising and falling in the blink of an eye. But as the eons passed in accelerated time, a pattern emerged. The points of light began to dim, fewer new civilizations appeared, and vast swaths of the galaxy grew dark. What are we seeing?" Sun Adamola asked, his linguist's mind trying to decipher the story told by this cosmic display. Zixtal's multifaceted eyes seemed to dim. "The slow death of our galaxy," he said quietly. "For reasons we still don't fully understand, the spark of intelligent life has been fading across the cosmos. New civilizations are becoming rarer, and existing ones are struggling to maintain their technological levels. The implications hit the human team like a physical blow." Nikolai Volkov, ever the tactician, was the first to voice the question on everyone's mind. And humanity, where do we fit into this galactic decline? In response, Zixtel zoomed the map to a familiar spiral arm, focusing on a small, unassuming star system. Earth appeared, a tiny blue marble amid the vast cosmic tapestry. "You," Zixtel said, a note of wonder in his voice, "are an anomaly. A species that not only survived but thrived, advancing at a rate we haven't seen in millennia. And you did it all in isolation, cut off from the galactic community." The holographic display shifted again, showing a rapid-fire sequence of human achievements: the first use of tools, the discovery of fire, the rise of civilizations, the Industrial Revolution, and the dizzying pace of technological advancement in the modern era. Sarah Chen, her strategic mind racing, connected the dots first. "That's why the Council sees us as a threat," she said. "We're an unknown variable in their controlled decline." Zixtel bobbed his head in agreement. "Precisely. But there's more to the story, a truth so astounding that it has been hidden from most of the galactic population." With another manipulation of the controls, the galactic map transformed. Ghostly outlines of long-dead civilizations appeared, their technological signatures far beyond anything the humans had seen before. "These," Zixtel explained, "were the precursors, a species so advanced that they reshaped entire galaxies to suit their needs. They were explorers, scientists, and creators on a scale we can barely comprehend. And then, at the height of their power, they vanished." Dr. Kiona Blackfoot leaned in, studying the spectral remnants of precursor technology. "Vanished? How? Why?" "We don't know," Zixtal admitted. "But we do know this: before they disappeared, they seeded hundreds of worlds with their genetic material, hidden within the genomes of primitive species." A heavy silence fell over the chamber as the implication sank in. It was Yuki Tanaka who finally voiced what they were all thinking. "Are you saying we're descendants of these precursors?" Zixtel's alien features arranged themselves into an expression of grim amusement. "Not just descendants. Based on our analysis of your genetic structure and the rate of your technological advancement, we believe humanity may be the most direct inheritors of the precursor legacy we've ever encountered." The revelation hit the team like a shockwave. They were not just a young species making its way in the galaxy. They were the heirs to an unimaginably advanced civilization, carrying within them the potential to reshape the cosmos itself. "This is why the Council fears you," Zixtal continued. "Your rapid advancement, your adaptability, your drive to explore and understand. These are all hallmarks of precursor potential. They fear you might reclaim that legacy and upset the delicate balance they've maintained for eons." Dr. Zhao, her scientific mind reeling, asked the question that now burned in all their minds. "But why help us? Why reveal this truth?" Zixtel's response was simple yet profound. "Because the galaxy is dying, Dr. Zhao. The Council's policy of controlled decline is a slow march towards extinction. But humanity, you carry within you the spark that might reignite the cosmic flame." As the team grappled with this astounding truth, alarms suddenly blared throughout the chamber. Holographic displays flickered with urgent warnings. "We've been discovered," Nikolai said, his military training kicking in as he assessed potential escape routes. Zixtel moved quickly, his fingers flying over the console. "I've locked down this section, but it won't hold them for long. We need to move, now." "Move where?" Sarah asked, her mind already formulating strategies. "We're on an alien space station, surrounded by advanced technology we barely understand." A sly look crossed Zixtel's alien features. Who said anything about staying on the station? With a dramatic flourish, he activated a hidden protocol. A section of the chamber wall shimmered and dissolved, revealing a sleek, otherworldly vessel beyond. "Is that?" Yuki breathed, her eyes wide with excitement. "A precursor ship," Zixtal confirmed. "One of the few artifacts we've managed to keep hidden from the Council. With this, we can escape the station and take your case directly to the galactic population." As the sounds of approaching security forces echoed through the corridors outside, the human team faced a moment of choice. Stay and face the judgment of a council that feared them, or take a leap into the unknown aboard a vessel built by their ancient cosmic ancestors. Dr. Zhao stepped towards the ship, her voice filled with determination. "Well, team, it looks like humanity's first official act in galactic politics is going to be a jailbreak. Any objections?" The grins on her teammates' faces were all the answer she needed. As they rushed towards the precursor ship, with Zixtal close behind, a sense of exhilaration filled the air. They were about to embark on an adventure beyond their wildest dreams, armed with the astounding truth of their heritage and the potential to change the fate of the entire galaxy. The true test of humanity's place among the stars was about to begin. Humanity's gambit. The precursor ship hummed with power as it sliced through the fabric of space-time, leaving the Galactic Council's hidden station far behind. Inside the sleek vessel, the human team and their alien ally, Zixtal, huddled around a holographic display of the galaxy, planning their next move. Sarah Chen, her strategic mind in overdrive, took charge of the situation. "All right, we need a plan. We can't outrun the Council forever, and we certainly can't fight them head-on." Dr. Amelia Zhao nodded in agreement. "We need to change the narrative. Right now, we're fugitives. We need to become something else, something the galaxy can't ignore." Nikolai Volkov, ever the tactician, leaned in. "We need to make ourselves too valuable to be silenced." "But how?" A sly smile crossed Zixtal's alien features. "Perhaps," he said, manipulating the ship's controls. "It's time for a grand entrance." The holographic display zoomed in on a massive space station, a hub of galactic civilization, where representatives from thousands of worlds gathered to trade, negotiate, and share information. "The Nexus," Zixtal explained, "the heart of interstellar communication and commerce. If we can make our case here, the entire galaxy will hear it." Sun Adamola, his linguistic skills already adapting to the ship's alien interfaces, raised a concern. "But won't the Council be expecting us to go there? They'll have the place locked down tighter than Fort Knox." Dr. Kiona Blackfoot, who had been quietly studying the ship's systems, spoke up. "Maybe not. Look at this." She pulled up a display of the ship's energy signature. "It's constantly shifting, adapting. I don't think their sensors can track us." Yuki Tanaka's eyes lit up with excitement. "So we can sneak right in under their noses. But then what? We can't just walk onto the main floor and start shouting about precursors and galactic conspiracies." Sarah's eyes gleamed with the light of a forming plan. "No, we can't. But we can give them a show they'll never forget." "Zixtal, does this ship have any precursor technology we can use? Something visually impressive but harmless?" The alien scientist thought for a moment, then nodded. "There's a dormant terraforming system, completely harmless on this scale, but the energy output would be spectacular." A grin spread across Sarah's face. "Perfect. Here's what we're going to do." Hours later, as the Nexus bustled with its usual interstellar activity, alarms suddenly blared. The massive viewports that lined the station's main concourse filled with a blinding light as a ship of impossible design materialized in the heart of the station's security zone. Panic erupted as aliens of all shapes and sizes scrambled for safety. Security forces mobilized, weapons trained on the intruding vessel. But before they could act, the ship's hull shimmered and became transparent, revealing its human occupants. Dr. Zhou's voice, amplified by the ship's systems and translated into 1,000 alien languages, boomed across the station. "People of the galaxy, we come in peace. We are humanity, and we bring a message of hope." As she spoke, Yuki activated the terraforming system. Beams of energy shot out from the ship, coalescing into a miniature galaxy that hovered above the stunned crowd. Within this swirling vortex of stars and nebulae, holographic representations of Earth's history played out, from the first use of tools to the modern era. Sion took over, his linguist's skills put to the ultimate test as he addressed the multi-species audience. We are not a threat to be contained, but a spark to reignite the flame of innovation and exploration across the cosmos. The display shifted, showing the decline of galactic civilizations that Sixtel had revealed to them. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd as they saw, for the first time, the true state of their universe. Nikolai stepped forward, his military bearing projecting strength and reassurance. The Galactic Council has hidden the truth from you, the truth of our shared heritage and the legacy we all carry. The holographic galaxy zoomed in, revealing the ghostly outlines of precursor technology scattered across the stars. Kayona's voice rang out, filled with passion. We are all children of the precursors, carrying within us the potential to reshape reality itself. But that potential has been suppressed, contained, out of fear and misunderstanding. As the crowd watched in awe, the holographic display showed the rapid advancement of human civilization, contrasted against the slow decline of the rest of the galaxy. Sarah delivered the final part of their message, her voice ringing with conviction. We stand before you not as conquerors, not as saviors, but as partners. Together, we can reclaim our cosmic heritage and forge a new future for all species. The time of isolation and fear is over. The age of rediscovery and collaboration has begun. As their words echoed across the Nexus, the reaction from the assembled aliens was immediate and intense. Some cheered, others argued vehemently, and still others stood in stunned silence. But one thing was clear: the galaxy would never be the same. Suddenly, a new voice boomed across the station, deep, resonant, and unmistakably powerful. Enough of this charade. A shimmering portal opened near the precursor ship, and through it stepped a being of such presence that the entire station seemed to hold its breath. It was Zarthal, the Galactic Council emissary they had first encountered on Earth, but now radiating a power and authority that dwarfed anything they had seen before. Humans, Zarthal's voice echoed, you have defied our judgment, stolen our secrets, and now seek to upend the very order of the cosmos. For this, you must be held accountable. The human team tensed, ready for a confrontation. But before Zarthal could act, another voice cut through the tension. Zixtal's. Hold, counselor. The alien scientist stepped out of the ship, placing himself between the humans and Zarthal. I invoke the right of challenge, as set down in the ancient laws of our people. I challenge the Council's decision to contain humanity, and I demand a full hearing before the assembled species of the galaxy. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Zarthal's eyes narrowed, but even he could not ignore such an ancient and binding custom. Very well, he said, his voice cold. The challenge is acknowledged. But know this, humans, if you fail to convince the galactic community of your worth, the consequences will be severe. As Zarthal's form shimmered and vanished, leaving behind a stunned audience and a galaxy on the brink of transformation, the human team exchanged glances. They had done it. They had forced the Galactic Council into the open and won a chance to plead their case before the entire cosmos. Sarah Chen, a mix of exhilaration and determination on her face, summed up their situation perfectly. Well, team, it looks like we've just turned galactic politics on its head. Our little jailbreak has become a revolution, ready for the greatest debate in cosmic history. As the team nodded, their faces set with resolve, they knew that the real challenge was just beginning. They had sparked a flame of change that would sweep across the stars. Now they had to ensure that flame became a beacon of hope, not a pyre of destruction. The fate of humanity, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. But as they stood together, these representatives of Earth felt a surge of confidence. After all, Defying impossible odds was what humans did best. Humanity's gambit had only just begun.